Hey, Ron here with Best Tool Upgrades. Normally, our videos consist of us showing off some of our great upgrade kits for your Harbor Freight blast cabinet, for the manual tire changer, and certainly for the Harbor Freight parts washer. But today, we want to send a little bit of a different message. And that message is, don't buy a Harbor Freight parts washer. Now, that's not entirely correct. What I really mean to say is, don't buy a new Harbor Freight parts washer. Why? Because there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these widely available on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, and all the other similar neighborhood sales platforms where you can buy a really good used machine and save a lot of money. So what are these costs new? Well, they're approximately $145 to $160. If you buy some of the other brands, they actually cost more, although they're basically the same thing. But this one I bought locally a few months ago, and I spent $40 for it. So generally, you can spend between $40 and $75 and save roughly half the purchase price by just buying a used one versus buying a new one. So what are the things that you should look for in buying a used one? Well, let's go through those. First of all, examine the paint. Now, yeah, it's going to have some patina, which some of you might find appealing rather than having this brand new shiny tool in your shop or garage. But one thing you want to make sure of is that while the paint may be faded, it's not flaking and it's not rusting off. Okay, so this one, yeah, it's got a little bit of fading, may have been in a pole barn or something like that, but there's absolutely zero rust on it. It's entirely good. The next thing to do is look at the hardware. Make sure that all of the hardware is there, and it would be best if it was the original hardware. It all matches, so you know that the thing wasn't taken apart or pieces lost over time and then put back together again. Make sure that the shelf is sturdy, and this one is in perfectly good shape. A little dirty, a little cleaning wouldn't hurt it, but it's perfectly serviceable. The next thing to look at on the exterior is the hinge. Make sure that the hinge operates smoothly. Now, if it talks to you a little bit, I'm going to tell you that the new ones are going to talk to you a little bit as well, and you can always spray just a little bit of WD-40 in there, but the hinge is not rusty. It's not all bent. The center hinge pin is not sticking out from the ends. It's in there just perfectly, just as you would find it in a brand new parts washer right out of the box. So everything from the outside looks great. Now let's look on the inside. One of the most important things for you to see and to check is to make sure that this lift is working. The hinge arm on the inside is working. And there are two things to check. Make sure that it stays closed. Make sure that it stays open. But there's also a fusible link built into this. The fusible link is there that if, God forbid, there is ever a fire, that this fusible link will melt and it will disable the spring keeper and allow it to close, hopefully putting out the fire. So check the condition of this arm, check the condition of the fusible link. You can see this one, a little bit of dust, it's still shiny new. There's nothing wrong with this, and if in the worst case scenario you had a fire, this should work just like a brand new one. It's not burnt, it's not rusty, there's nothing wrong with it whatsoever. Now, when you buy these used, sometimes all the parts will be in them and sometimes they will be missing. This one I really liked because it had the two main parts. This is the metal shelf that hooks onto the internal brackets here. And you can see these are basically clean, no rust, great shape. This sits in here right like this, moves freely, no rust on the shelf, plenty strong, not dented, not crispy. And this is the little parts box that you can use to put small things in to wash out. It's practically brand new. A little bit of a rub mark on the bottom, no rust, no paint loss, no dents, pretty much just like new. So these are the simple things to check, and literally in less than 2 minutes, you can see whether you have a good machine, a good cabinet, or one that's been abused over time. Now let's go to the next critical factor, and that is the pump. So this is where all the magic happens. This is the flexible spray wand that comes with the unit. Check to see that it's not all rusty and nasty. This one looks practically brand new. The box that houses the pump is not all dented up. It's not all rusty. We're going to lift it out. It's very simple. Just pull straight up, come straight in. Pull the cord through the opening. While you're looking at the cord, take a quick check. Make sure it's the original 3-prong end, that it's not been broken, not been repaired. Again, this one looks practically brand new. I paid $40 for this cabinet, just the way you see it. But let's talk about the motor a little bit. This piece out here holds a filter element. The filter element may be missing, it may be dirty, it may be nasty, but check around. Again, no rust, no dents, no paint loss. If this is missing, all you do is take a piece of air conditioning filter material or any other kind of material that you have laying around that will just serve as a solvent filter. Just cut it to size, slip it right in, and what that does is screen out the large nasty stuff from potentially going in to the pump mechanism. So that screen is important and that filter element is important, but if it's not there or if it's nasty, you can basically replace it essentially for free. Now, the last key critical thing is the pump working? Will it pump solvent? Now, when you buy these new, and if you check the reviews the way we do at Best Tool Upgrades, there is a fairly high failure rate for these pumps right out of the box. People buy them, bring them home, set them all up, plug it in, guess what? The pump doesn't work. Or the second failure mode is they use it 2 or 3 times, they come out for the 4th time, it doesn't fire up. So how do you test whether it fires up? Well, you can plug it in dry and hear the impeller spin. But what we recommend, and what I did when I bought this one, is I brought along a little container of water. Doesn't have to be a 5-gallon pail. I've set the pump inside of it. Asked the seller to just get me to some 110 power, plugged it in, turned it on, and was hopeful. Well, guess what? It's working perfectly. Turn it off, turn it on. Now you know that the pump is working. And quite honestly, if this is an older machine, what we have found is that if the pump is going to fail, it's going to fail within the first month or so of the use of the machine, of the cabinet. Once you get past that, these things tend to live for a very, very long time, assuming you don't abuse them. My own parts washer cabinet inside of my shop, I've had for over 9 years. I bought it used. It has the original pump, and it's been pumping for me for 9 years, and probably pumped from the guy I bought it for 3, 4, 5, 6 years before that. So if they're going to fail, they tend to fail early. If they don't fail early, you tend to get a pump that's going to last for a long, long time. So what's the take-home message? You can spend $150 for a brand new one, or you can spend roughly $40 to $70 for an extremely good quality used one that's probably seen very little use. Some guy used it for one project, or some guy got it from his father-in-law who didn't really need it anymore. The first thing you're going to do is save money. The second thing, you're not going to have to put the thing together, because this takes some time to put it together. You got to hold the legs, you got to screw the legs in, you got to do all of that stuff. It takes a little bit of time. The next thing is that you get to test the pump before you own it. You can't do that with a brand new one out of the box. So this can save you time, save you money, and give you a good rewarding feeling that you can take your savings and put that money into something else that you'd like to use in your shop. We would recommend that you buy our Best Tool Upgrades Parts Washer Upgrade Kit. And in our next video, we're going to feature that Parts Washer Upgrade Kit, which is available for sale on our website. And we're going to go through all the steps to install the entire kit on this unit. So we hope that this has been helpful. We hope that you will visit us at partswasherupgradekit.com to see all of our great upgrade kits for many, many more things than just a Harbor Freight parts washer kit. Thanks for watching. We'll see you here again next time. Have a great day.